Hello, friends. Good day to you. This is your friend once again, Bosede Modupe Otusanya, on relationship and family matters with BMO. Trust your day has been so fantastic. And I want to once again say a big thank you. I will continue to say thank you for all your time. The time you take to listen to whatever we have to present on this platform. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your support. And I believe you have been impacted in one way or the other. We can always get better. And today, like any other day, we still have something very important to talk about. We have been highlighting in the past one topic or the other, reasons why a lot of marriages are not working. It has been from one topic to the other. You can't exhaust it. But at least somehow you will see one or the other that is applicable to your own relationship. And today we are talking about something very important as well. Taking us to the topic, X factor. A subtle snake that destroys marriages. X factor. A subtle snake that destroys marriages. I want to ask you a question. I'm always asking questions. Don't mind me. The question is it right for people to be in marriage and still maintain relationship with their ex-female lover or their ex-male lover? If you have a contrary view, you can please private chat me or send it on comments. We can talk about it. Or maybe I can learn from you too. What do we mean by X factor? X factor in marriage means association or intimate relationship with an ex-male lover or an ex-female lover in a long-term romantic or intimate relationship while in marriage. Take note of that. While in marriage. And this topic is coming to us because it's one out of those many reasons, especially at this time. It's not something that is peculiar to this time we are in. It has always existed. One of the many reasons why a lot of marriages are having issues. Some are at the verge of collapse. Some have collapsed. Some partners have separated because of the same problem. Some even have the evidence of divorce. They are already divorced. The reason why this is happening is because of the inability of partners in marriage to respect marriage vows. A lot of partners in marriage are disobedient to divine instruction. What does the Bible say? It says in Genesis chapter 2 verse 24, it said, a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one. Not just your father and your mother. Every past intimate relationship becomes secondary on the day you get married to your spouse. But the problem is a lot go into marriage. They want to cleave when they have not totally left. The place of God is absent in many marriages. Romans chapter 1 verse 28 told us, it says, even as they did not retain God in their knowledge, He has given them over to a reprobate mind to do those things that are not convenient. And also Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Why will somebody be in marriage and still maintain a very close, intimate relationship with an ex-female or an ex-male lover? A lot of people in marriage, they don't know how to respect boundaries. They don't know boundaries and they don't know how to set boundaries in relationships. And so inability of partners in marriage to know and set and respect boundaries have led to a lot of partners in a subtle way into the error of sexual unfaithfulness in marriage. Now, I want to tell you something. When we talk about X factor in marriage, most times it doesn't just destroy one marriage. Oftentimes it destroys two marriages, two families. You both were ex-lovers in the past when you were single. You both are now married to different people, even with children in those marriages. Along the line, you are still keeping in touch. At the end of the day, it's not a factor that destroys just one home, it destroys two homes at a time. Let's look into it better. This act, most times, is not done with the intention of it being an instrument of break. It starts in a subtle way. When it starts, it doesn't even look like something that can lead to a collapse in marriage. It begins in a subtle manner. How does it start? You begin to have his or her thought comes into your heart too often, even while in marriage. Sometimes you may be before your husband. Sometimes you may be with your wife. But your mind is not in your marriage. Your mind is always with that ex-lover. Keep thinking of all the past escapades you had together. Oh, how you both enjoyed yourselves. So many things, thoughts running in your heart. Sometimes you still consider him or her in your heart as your best friend and confidant, even when you are still in marriage. I wonder how somebody will say, who is your best friend? A married woman will say, an ex-lover is her best friend and she's still in marriage. A married man will say, an ex-female lover is his best friend and is still in marriage. There's a big question mark there. Why are you in that marriage when you know your heart is not in the marriage? Some even invite their ex-lovers to their family events. Some do it under the disguise of just a friend. Some even go as far as subconsciously you compare him or her in your heart with your spouse. So many battles running in your heart when you are with your spouse, your partner in marriage. Comparing your partner in your heart with your ex-female lover or your ex-male lover. You can see how it works. Sometimes constant communication between you and your ex. You cannot just you don't feel comfortable in one day when you have not discussed, when you have not spoken with each other. You become very restless. There's a problem there. Some still go as far as even sharing their marital challenges with their ex-lover. You are still close to his or her family. And sometimes when you are together, you express, you display a kind of expression of regret with an ex for breaking up in your relationship. It was a mistake. I don't know what happened to me. I would have actually married you. I don't find it easy in this my present marriage with an ex-male or female lover. And this and many. It keeps graduating. You keep feeding it. Before you know what is happening, what happens? It results in unfaithfulness. It results in infidelity. And sometimes it results in even separation, because this comes in a subtle manner. It starts like something insignificant. There's nothing wrong in us being friends. Oh, there's nothing wrong in us still communicating. I mean, there's no big deal about that. We can hang out together. We can meet in a restaurant. We can meet, we can go we can go out on dinner together. And before you know it, you fall into the error of infidelity. You fall into the error of unfaithfulness, and which most times lead to separation and then divorce. And so for a lot of us who have found ourselves in this kind of relationship and we don't know the way out, I just want to give us 1 or 2 tips on how we can work ourselves out of this relationship in order to save our marriages. Number 1, the Bible told us in Proverbs 4:23, because all this begins with the heart. Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are issues of life. You have to start with your heart. Who is the possessor of your heart? Number 2, total submission to God and His divine instruction. This will trigger the fear of God in you and make you wise. When you guard your heart with all diligence and you fear God, this will take you to submitting totally to the will of God and His divine instruction, and it will trigger the fear of God in you and make you wise. And then you will no longer see it as a sin against your spouse. It shall now be a sin against God. How will I do these great thing against the Almighty God? Number 3, living totally before cleaving. And this is talking to us as singles. Don't cleave with any man or woman until you have totally left. Clean break from previous relationships with no sentimental attachment. You have left, you have left. You decided, you made your choice, and so you must stick to your choice. Clean break with no sentimental attachment. So it is very, very necessary, as the Bible admonished us in Genesis 2:24, that you have to live before you can cleave. Because people refuse to live totally before they cleft to their partners, that is why a lot of marriages are having issues. And number 4, avoid being friends. You can make friends with so many other people, but the Bible told us flee from all appearances of evil. You were ex-lovers. You did so many intimate things together. It's not easy getting over such emotions. So the earlier the better you avoid being friends. You can do without that relationship so that your marriage can work. And number 5, be content with your spouse and grow together. If there's something about that past relationship that you find missing in your spouse, be content with what God has given to you. Encourage your spouse so that both of you can grow together to be who or you want him or her to be at the end of the day. And finally, the Bible told us that godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Be content with what God has given unto you. X factor is actually a subtle snake that destroys marriages. God bless you. If you have any question or comment on this platform, please feel free to send in your comments and your questions. God bless you. Thank you.